morning, students. I welcome you all for the another session. Yesterday we have solved one problem, and in that we have seen that how to calculate the long-term deflection. So now we'll take one more problem. Okay. So again, we're going to calculate short-term deflection and long-term deflection. So the problem is like this: a rectangular section beam 200 mm wide and 450 mm overall depth is reinforced with 3 bars of 16 mm diameter at an effective depth of 420 mm. Two hanger bars of 12 mm diameter are provided at the compression face. The effective span of the beam is 5 meter. The beam supports a service live load of 10 kN per meter. If FCK is 20 Newton per mm square and Fy is equal to 415 Newton per mm square, then calculate short-term deflection and long-term deflection according to IS 456 code specifications. Okay, so the beam is like this: width of beam, then overall depth of the beam, effective depth of the beam small d, then tension reinforcement at the bottom, 3 bars of 16 mm diameter. Then at the top, these 2 bars are called as hanger bars or anchor bars. So 2 bars of 12 mm diameter. So this is AST, this is ASC. Okay, so these are the data. Okay, so AST, calculate 3 bars, 3 into pi by 4 diameter square. So this is 603. Then ASC, 2 bars, 2 bars into pi by 4 diameter square, 12 mm square. So AST and ASC. Next, you can calculate Young's modulus of concrete. EC is equal to 5000 into root FCK. Okay, so 5000 root FCK is 20. Okay, so it is 22360, that is Young's modulus of concrete. Similarly, tensile strength of concrete. Okay, tensile strength of concrete FCR is equal to 0.7 into root FCK. Okay, 0.7 FCK is again 20 root 20. So it will get 3.13 Newton per mm square. Okay, then what is modular ratio? M, small m, is equal to Young's modulus of steel divided by Young's modulus of concrete. So Young's modulus of steel is 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square and EC 22360. So M will be, modular ratio will be 13. Now loads on beam. So one load is given, that is a live load. So live load is given 10 kilonewton per meter. Now we have to calculate self weight of the beam. So dimensions are given, B is given, capital D is given. Okay, so small b into capital D into density of RCC will give self weight of the beam. Okay, so self weight of the beam is equal to, B is 200 mm, means 0.2 meter, into 450 mm means 0.45 meter, into, this is density of RCC. For RCC, the density, the reinforced concrete density will be 25 kilonewton per meter cube. This is in meter cube. So that's why these two are substituted also in meters. So 0.2, 0.45 into 25. So this is 2.25 kilonewton per meter. This is self weight of the beam. So total load is what now? Live load is given and we have calculated this self weight. So the total load will be 12.25 kilonewton per meter. Okay, live load plus self weight. This is small w. It is in the form of UDL. Okay, now first what they have asked, you have to calculate the maximum short term deflection. Okay, maximum short term deflection, that is indicated as AI permanent. AI permanent is equal to, as you know, this is simply supported beam with UDL. Okay, what is the maximum deflection? That is short term deflection, 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EI. So remember this formula. Okay, for simply supported beam with UDL, okay, deflection will be 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EI. So 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384. So for E you can substitute EC, that is Young's modulus of concrete, This I we have to substitute as I effective, that is moment of inertia, effective moment of inertia. I is moment of inertia, so this is effective moment of inertia. So if you want to calculate short term deflection, W is known, L is known, EC is known. First calculate I effective. Okay, effective moment of inertia. So this can be calculated using this formula. Already we have used this. So IR divided by 1.2 minus MR by M into Z by D into bracket 1 minus X by D BW by B. So this is 1. So here if you want to calculate I effective, calculate IR, calculate MR, M, Z, D and X. These value will be calculated first. Now calculate IR. What is IR? Moment of inertia of cracked section. Okay, after cracking, what is the moment of inertia of that beam is IR. So IR will be calculated like this: Bx cube by 3 plus M small m AST into D minus X whole square. So again here, if you want to calculate IR, then first calculate X. So B is known, M is known, AST is known. You have to calculate X. What is X? X is equal to depth of neutral axis. So that will be calculated as Bx square by 2, that is equal to MAST into D minus X. Okay. So B is 200, X square by 2 into M modular ratio 13, AST 603 into 420 effective depth minus X. So if you simplify this, you will going to get the quadratic equation. Okay. So AX square plus BX plus C form. So that is quadratic equation. If you solve quadratic equation, we will get X, that is neutral axis depth, X is equal to 146 mm. Okay, 146 mm. So now this 146 we have got X. Okay, so then therefore moment of inertia of this I cracked section IR is equal to Bx cube by 3 plus MAST D minus X square. So substitute the values. So IR is equal to 200 into 146 Bx cube divided by 3 plus M AST into D minus X whole square. So we'll get moment of inertia of cracked section IR is equal to 7.95 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4 unit. Moment of inertia unit is mm raised to 4. Now moment of inertia of gross section, total section, that is IGR. So IGR is equal to BDQ by 12. So since it is a rectangle, so moment of inertia of total section is BDQ by 12. So B capital D cube divided by 12. So we'll get IGR. Okay. So therefore cracking moment MR. So here you have to calculate no MR. This MR. Okay. So MR will be what? Formula for MR, it is FCR into IGR divided by YT. So FCR, tensile strength of concrete, already calculated in the beginning. This is IGR divided by YT. YT is what? So it is D by 2, capital D by 2, that is 450 by 2. So from this we can calculate this MR. Cracking moment MR is equal to 0.211 into 10 raised to 8 Newton mm. Now what is M now? This M, this is a maximum bending moment. Okay, so maximum bending moment M. So simply supported beam with UDL, maximum bending moment at the center, it is WL square by 8. Okay, so W is total load, UDL W 12.25 into 5 square span divided by 8. So M will be 0.383 into 10 raised to 8 Newton mm. Okay, so we have calculated IR, we have calculated MR, we have calculated M. Then what is the lever arm? Z. Z is equal to effective depth D minus X by 3. Okay, so 420 minus X already we have calculated, that is 146 by 3. So Z lever arm equal to 371.34 mm. So therefore substitute all the values in this equation. We have calculated IR, MR, M, Z, okay, X we have calculated, and this term is 1. BW by B will be 1. So therefore this I effective we're going to get 9.037 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4. Okay, 9.037 into 10 raised to 8 mm raised to 4, that is effective moment of inertia. Okay, I effective means effective moment of inertia. So now you can calculate the short term deflection first. Therefore, short term deflection is equal to AI permanent. Okay, AI permanent is equal to 5 WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EI. E means EC, I means I effective. We have calculated all the things here. So substitute the values. So we'll get short term deflection is equal to 4.94 mm. So the beam will going to deflect how much? 4.94 mm. So this is short term deflection. Okay, then second quantity what they asked, long term deflection. Okay, this is denoted as ALD, long term deflection. So what is long term deflection? Long term deflection is equal to this short term deflection plus shrinkage deflection, that is ACS, then creep deflection ACC permanent. If you add all these three, we are going to get this long term. Already this is calculated now. This first term we have calculated. Let us calculate this shrinkage deflection and creep deflection. First calculate this now. So shrinkage deflection, that is ACS. S indicates shrinkage. Okay, shrinkage deflection. So again from the code book if you refer, this is a formula. So shrinkage deflection is equal to K3 into 5CS into L square. So what is this K3? So K3 is a constant which will be considered as 0.125. K3 is equal to 0.125 for simply supported beam. If it is a simply supported beam, K3 will be taken as 0.125. Then calculate this 5CS. Okay, 5CS. What is 5CS is equal to? This is shrinkage curvature. Okay, shrinkage curvature, and this 5CS will be calculated as formula K4 into ECS divided by D. K4 into ECS divided by D. D is known, effect that is overall depth. Then K4 you have to calculate ECS. So in the problem, if it is not given, ECS is what? Ultimate shrinkage strain. We are calculating shrinkage means this will be shrinkage strain. Directly you can take it as 0.0003 strain, it is no unit. So this is 0.0003. Now we will calculate K4. Okay, so K4 is equal to what? There are two formulas based on the value. So depending upon this PT minus PC. So K4 is equal to 0.72 PT minus PC divided by root PT. This should be equal to, this K4 value should be equal to less than 1, less than or equal to 1. Okay, then what is this PT and PC? So PT is equal to what? Percentage of tensile reinforcement. T means tensile reinforcement, that is the bottom what you have provided, AST. So how will calculate PT? AST upon BD into 100. Area of tensile reinforcement divided by cross section of the beam into 100. Okay, 603 divided by B is 200, 420 into 100. So we are going to get 0.71. This PT is 0.71. Similarly, what is PC? Percentage of compression reinforcement. Percentage of compression reinforcement, that is area of compression steel, that is ASC divided by BD into 100. So ASC top you have provided 2 bars. What is the ASC? 226 divided by 200 into 420. So this will be 0.269. So PT is 0.71, then PC is 0.269. Check this PT minus PC. So PT minus PC 0.71 minus 0.269, that is 0.441. Okay, 0.441. So this 0.441 which is greater than 0.25, okay, and less than 1. So this formula will be holds good, okay, for calculating K4. So therefore K4 equal to what? K4 is equal to 0.72 PT minus PC divided by root PT. So 0.72 PT minus PC, this is 0.441 divided by root PT, percentage of steel. So K4 is 0.377. 0.37. Therefore, curvature, okay, 5CS is equal to K4 into ECS divided by D. So K4 is 0.377 into 0.0003 divided by overall depth 450. So this will get 2.51 into 10 raised to minus 7. Okay, so substitute finally shrinkage deflection ACS is equal to K3 into this 5CS into L square. So 0.125 K3 into this 5CS is 2.51 into 10 raised to minus 7 into 5000 square span, 5000 mm square. So shrinkage deflection is equal to what? ACS is equal to 0.784 mm. 0.784 mm. So this is second, shrinkage deflection. Third, we'll calculate creep deflection. Creep deflection, that is ACC. C indicates creep. AC, S indicates shrinkage. ACC indicates creep. So ACC permanent creep deflection is equal to using this formula. So creep deflection is equal to AICC permanent minus this is short term deflection AI permanent. Okay, so this is already we have calculated short term deflection. This will calculate. So this minus this short term deflection will give this creep deflection. And what is this now? So this will be AICC permanent is equal to whatever the short term deflection we have calculated, 5WL raised to 4 divided by 384. Now here you have to substitute ECE. Instead of ECE you have to substitute. ECE into this same I effective. Then what is this ECE? So ECE is equal to EC divided by 1 plus theta. Okay, this ECE is equal to EC divided by 1 plus theta. So EC already we have calculated Young's modulus of concrete. Then divided by 1 plus theta is what? Okay, creep coefficient. Theta is equal to creep coefficient, that is 1 plus 1.6. If it is not given, directly you can take 1.6. So EC divided by 1 plus 1.6 means 2.6. So substitute this ECE value here. Okay, so therefore AICC permanent is equal to 5WL raised to 4 divided by 384 into ECE is what? EC divided by 2.6 into I effective. Therefore, so this 2.6 I will take top. This is 2.6, and what is this remaining? 5WL raised to 4 divided by 384 EC. Okay, 384 EC into I. So this is short term deflection. Already we have calculated in the previous. So what you have to do for this? Okay, for this what we will going to do? Short term deflection already we have calculated. Multiply by 2.6. Multiply by 2.6 because this remains constant. Okay, so always remember when you are calculating this, okay, whatever the short term deflection we have already calculated, that multiply by 2.6. Okay, that will give this value. Okay, so therefore this creep deflection is equal to what? Whatever the value we are going to calculate here, okay, minus short term deflection again. So AIC permissible equal to 4.94, that is short term deflection into 2.6. So finally creep deflection ACC permanent is equal to this value minus short term deflection. This is short term deflection. So we'll get 12.84. This is 12.84 minus 4.94. See, short term deflection 4.94. So therefore creep deflection is how much? 7.9 mm. So finally what we're going to get? Add all the three, that is total long term deflection. Okay, total long term deflection ALD, long term deflection ALD is equal to short term deflection. Okay, first we have calculated, plus shrinkage deflection plus this creep deflection. Okay, so short term deflection is 4.94 mm, shrinkage deflection, here shrinkage deflection 0.784 mm, okay, plus creep deflection 7.9 mm. Okay, add these three, the total long term deflection is 13.664 mm. So finally what we'll get, long term deflection ALD is equal to 13.664 mm. So because of this long term deflection, the beam will going to deflect how much? 13.664 mm. So we have calculated first short term deflection, then long term deflection will be addition of these three. This already we have calculated here. These two calculate first. So shrinkage deflection is this, okay, using this formula. Take K3 is equal to 0.125, 5 CS we are going to calculate using this, then K4 will be calculated like this. So calculate shrinkage deflection, and next is creep deflection. So this formula, so this already we have calculated short term deflection. For short term deflection you will multiply 2.6, okay, whatever the value you are going to calculate short term deflection, multiply by 2.6 will get this value. So this minus again short term deflection will give creep deflection. Add all the three, will get this. Okay, so we'll have, now we have solved two problems on this how to calculate short term deflection and long term deflection. So I request all of you, solve all the problems, okay, solve all the problems on deflection calculation, okay, deflection calculation, and try to write down all these formulas, okay, try to write down all these formulas and attach wherever you sit for the study, okay, and solve the problems once again. If you have any doubts, so feel free to ask me, because this portion will be also included in your first internal assessment, okay, very soon you're going to get the dates, okay. So till now whatever the portion we have covered, that will be there, plus, okay, tomorrow again I will going to start with the module number 2 now, okay, we'll go with the module number 2. So module number 1 we have completed, okay, so tomorrow we're going to start with module number 2. So some part of module 2 is also there for your first internal assessment, okay. So when you tomorrow I will going to give the assignment, first assignment, okay. So write down that those assignment and you have to submit back. Any doubts in this regarding this module 1, so let me know, and I hope you understood this. Solve all the problems from the beginning, theory questions also plus problems, okay. So thank you very much for attending this session.